For your accommodation, if you wanted to run business, that's a separate conversation, and we have a policy that manages the the tuck shops and all those
in
things.
the commercial
yes.
operations.
And I was like, what do I do? So no. At that point, I felt the education system has failed me as a university student, because I could not understand how I cannot apply
the lessons you are learning in school, in class.
We got the internet. My room, you know the...
Was your room the server?
Yes.
I've already guessed.
Yes. So I had these tables on top of each other, and there were
those stacks and stacks of...
So when you get into my room, there were connections breaking, red, green. So when you don't pay, I plug your cable out.
You are disconnected. Did you used to give notice? We are going to disconnect you.
We pay.
No, these days they don't call it disconnection. They call it auto suspension.
Yeah, it's now automatic.
It's auto-suspension.
There are systems for billing now, but
yeah, that time
it
was
that.
literally just...
So I remember the excitement, because we connected 4 halls of residence to the internet.
What? How many students?
A hall would have like 4 floors. Each floor would have like 10, 12 rooms. And so you could subscribe if you can pay 1,000 per month. And people are like, 1,000 unlimited internet versus me buying a modem. At that time, the bundles were very expensive. They were like, we want to try this one.
It's a good value proposition.
Yeah, we ran it for a month and it is working fantastic. And we have requests from other halls, connect us as well. Until there is a twist. The people in charge of the halls came by and they were like, what is happening here? Because they could see cables coming from one place.
And boosters and,
some
and the
cables
blinking
were
lights.
passing through trees to access the other hall. They were like, where is all this coming from? Oh, that's room.
Not usual.
And they traced my room. I remember it was room 33 at the 2nd floor, and they came, knocked. I was not there. But when I came, I was told by my neighbors.
There are some people who are looking for you.
Yeah, you need to report.
So this is the administration.
It is called the Student Welfare Authority.
Oh, I see. Yeah. They were in charge of the halls of residence. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did not do my research well. I needed 2 kind of approvals. There is the admin that is in charge of academics. I had passed there with flying
Those
colors.
ones had said yes.
Yes. But there are the people who run the halls.
You had not got their approval.
Yes.
So
I was told, you are doing business in our room.
Without our authority.
Yes, the contract is, the room is for your accommodation. If you wanted to run business, that's a separate conversation. And we have a policy that manages the the tuck shops and all those
in
things.
The commercial operations.
And I was like, what do I do? So no. We will review your case, but first, we want you to remove that infrastructure that you have on our premises.
Immediately?
Yes.
Or do they give you time?
We have given you 48 hours. What? If you don't do it, we are not liable for the damages.
We will remove
My
it.
askaris will do. And I was like, yo.
That's a serious threat. What? And it was going so well.
Slept that day. The following morning, with a very heavy heart, I was on top of trees.
Removing your cables.
Rolling back the wires and telling people this is a post. This is a post. We will figure this out.
It has come to this, unfortunately.
Yeah, we figure. I honestly thought there was a case to be made and the approval to be got.
And so it's a matter of time.
Yes, it's like it's a stay order. It's a stay order.
We'll have it removed. We'll sort it out.
We're coming back. The internet is there in my room. It's still blinking. Yeah. So I go to the offices and I'm like, I have done what you requested. tell me the process of approval.
So can I now formally
Yes,
apply?
and so unfortunately, at this time, we do not have a policy around what you're trying to do. So we will not be able to approve
Even
it.
look at the application?
Yes, and I'm like, can I escalate this? And I'm like, and he said, you are encouraged to go to our main office at the
It's
university.
in the main campus now?
Yes. And I was there. I think Julius Kimngetich had left. There was a new person. And I thought there would be somebody who could
Who will
see,
listen to the case.
who could see the innovation and encourage us.
Yes.
And it was very clear that what I am doing is very noble. In fact, the students have a right to have internet in their premises. But what you have done is you have taken over the role of the university to provide utilities and infrastructure. So as much as what you do is very good at a commercial level, within the university, that role should be done by the university. And there are already plans to make sure that we extend our internet capacity to the students.
But they haven't done it, and they need it today. What logic is this?
I sat outside that door with that feedback, and I was like, this is the highest escalation.
Now there's nowhere else you can go.
And I called my partners, my co-founders, and told them this is the end of the road.
Now I'm even worried
and
because
we have debts
you also have investors. The 150,000 investors. What are you gonna tell them now?
That was my first startup. And that's how I failed.
What?
Regulatory environment. That's the risk.
What?
Everything else working. So back to campus.
So what was the business lesson there? The biggest business lesson?
I think it's the big business risk regulatory, because I think you need to be mindful of the environment you operate
in. Yeah.
And if you don't have the proper licenses, as much as your innovation is noble, if the government says no, you can't do it.
There's no you can do it.
Yeah?
So what you're saying is that business does not necessarily fail because the commercial aspect is not working, or the value proposition is not working. Sometimes it actually fails because of other aspects of the environment, including regulation, like in your case, and policy, the policy environment. Yeah, but is there also an element of, because the need is there, the one who is supposed to provide is not there, but there's that insensitivity, to the consumer. I mean, students need this thing, and someone is willing to provide. So what I see is also a focus on substance, form over substance. Form over substance, that's what we call it in law. Instead of focusing on substance over form, because the form should deliver the substance. But now here we have focused on the form. Do you have that letter approving?
Who approved?
Who approved it? Did you take it through the channels? But that happens all the time.
And I showed them the admin, and they're like, the admin is in charge of academics.
Yes. No, not in charge of student welfare in the halls.
It's like, this is not happening.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate.
And I think the other lesson is the failure of our education system. I think at that point I felt the education system has failed me as a university student, because I could not understand how I cannot apply
the lessons you are learning in school, in class.
Like you teach us to be creative and to be innovative, but if I cannot do it
and apply it,
what is the essence of being here?
Yeah.
And I was demoralized for real. Like,
I can imagine.
After that, I sought some internship in town, and I only went to the crucial classes, and I was not in school in part of that year and fourth year I was never in school. To like after classes I am
You
gone.
want
I
to
even
be as
when
far
I was
off.
in fourth year I aligned my classes because we were doing 3 units. I aligned them to be in the same day.
So you're only there one day in a week.
Yes. And I could
Was
be
that
seen,
serious?
it could be seen later in the evening, and I was in town working some other jobs. I was like, this is not making sense. So I think that was the lesson. And I was trying to find this space that I want to get into business, but from a place of innovation. I think the startup environment, or I was too naive. I did not know that I was actually doing a startup. And
You know, for you had just seen a need.
Yes.
And you are trying to address that need.
Yes.
And fortunately, the need made a
Yes.
commercial proposition possible. So it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
So having said that, I graduated.
Okay, but you
because
got
I
your
don't want-
degree.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
want to
fine.
say I dropped out of school. This is not another class 2 story.
Yeah.
I finished my degree, graduated with top honors. I even got a scholarship because I was top of the class.
Yes.
Got a scholarship.
Even after that,
Yes.
you are still top. Wow, that's amazing.
You have to do what you have to do. And I owed my people back in the
You
village.
still had your eyes on the goal, irrespective of all these other
Yeah.
manenos happening around you.
So my performance earned me
Okay.
a scholarship. The same university I did my MBA in information
So
systems.
what you are saying is that we should never let a single failure detract us,
Yeah.
you know, from our goal and from our aspiration.
Yeah.
Because despite all that had happened and that tiff with the university, you still said, I still must do well in my degree program.